On Global TV News Prime, First Lady Oluremi Tinubu urges science-driven solutions, stronger health investment. In business, African Continental Free Trade Area needs 700 data centers to unlock Africa's digital trade potential. On the foreign scene, United States Vice President J.D. Vance in Hungary hails Urban as a model for Europe. And in sports, FIFA confirms goalkeeper Okonkwo switch from England to Nigeria. Hello everyone, a very warm welcome to all of our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to News Prime on Global Television, coming to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. I am Uyi Agmofwebe, and here is a quick reminder that we are on DSTV channel 365 and Star Times channel 276. Tonight, we begin by telling you Nigeria's First Lady, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, has called for sustained investment in health systems and the adoption of science-driven solutions to improve global health outcomes. In her message to mark World Health Day 2026, the First Lady stressed that progress in healthcare depends on innovation and strong collaboration across nations and sectors. Speaking on the theme of this year's commemoration, she further highlighted the importance of the One Health approach, which recognizes the interconnectedness of human, animal, plant, and environmental health. According to her, adopting such an integrated framework is essential for building resilient health systems capable of addressing emerging global health threats. Senator Tinubu also urged stakeholders across governments, institutions, and communities to deepen collaboration and prioritize policies that promote innovation in healthcare delivery. The National Association of Resident Doctors, NARD, has announced the suspension of its planned strike after reaching an understanding with the federal government on key demands, including payment of outstanding allowances and improvements in doctors' welfare. The decision was taken after an emergency meeting of the association's National Executive Council, where members reviewed assurances from government representatives and resolved to give dialogue another chance. The association says the suspension was informed by progress made in negotiations, particularly commitments on the prompt payments of salary arrears, hazard allowances, and steps toward resolving issues surrounding the medical residency training fund. A heavy downpour has caused a major traffic gridlock along the Yanya-Kefi Expressway in Abuja following severe damage to the Kubo bus terminal. The rainfall impacted parts of the newly built terminal, with sections of the roof affected and debris scattered onto the highway, obstructing vehicular movement. The incident led to severe congestion along the busy corridor linking the Federal Capital Territory to neighboring Nasarawa State, leaving many commuters stranded for hours. Eyewitnesses say some vehicles were affected by the debris, while residents and road users made efforts to clear the obstruction to ease traffic flow. Abuja Computerized Vehicle Inspection Center, operated by the Directorate of Road Traffic Services area, is most impacted on the highway. At the time of filing these reports, traffic remains slow moving, with motorists advised to exercise caution while approaching the axis. Let's turn to other stories for you tonight. Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, has dismissed the backlash trailing his controversial short remark, describing it as a figure of speech. The comment, directed at a channel's television anchor during a media party, has sparked reactions from media and civil society organizations. Kabir Hassan was there for Global Television.
When I was watching politics today, so if there was any way to break the screen, I would have shot him.
It was a comment that quickly drew national attention. During a media interaction, the FCT minister, Nyesom Wike, reacting to an analysis of Nigeria's political direction, says he will have broken the screen and shot a television anchor. The remark triggered widespread condemnation from media organizations, including the Nigerian Union of Journalists and other press freedom advocates, who describe it as inappropriate.
The media house, we should try as much as we can to be non-partisan.
even though we are all human beings. I mean, when it comes to our official duty, we try to see how our citizens can get the best of reporting. It is important that our reporters should go and make research and find out actually what I've heard or what I'm sharing or what they have said is correct or not.
Responding to the criticism, Wike maintained that the comment was not a threat but an expression of frustration, adding that his relationship with the broadcaster remains cordial. However, the controversy has continued to raise concern about the use of strong language by public officials and its impact on press freedom. While the minister has called for the issue to be put to rest, media stakeholders say such remarks must be carefully considered in a democratic society. Kabir Hassan, reporting for Global TV News.
Well, thank you, Kabir. The African Democratic Congress, ADC, has raised alarm that a recent directive by the Independent National Electoral Commission could prevent it from fielding candidates in their upcoming elections. It warned that the move risks undermining its participation in the electoral process. ADC National Publicity Secretary Bolaji Abdullahi, in a statement, says the crisis stems from INEC's decision to stop receiving correspondence from the party pending the outcome of a case before the Federal High Court. Presidential aspirants on the platform of the African Democratic Congress, Atiku Abubakar and Peter Obi, have criticized President Bola Tinubu over the recent wave of attacks across parts of the country, urging the federal government to take more decisive steps to address insecurity. In a post on his official X handle, Atiku expressed concern that fresh incidents appeared to contradict assurances earlier given by the president following the Agwan Rukuba attack in Jos North local government area of Plateau State. Similarly, Obi expressed concern over the spate of killings and attacks across the country, questioning recent assurances by the president during his visit to Plateau State. The federal government has reaffirmed its commitment to strengthening the Nigeria police force through sustained reforms, improved welfare, and strategic investment in modern policing tools. President Bola Tinubu, represented by Vice President Kashif Shettima, made this commitment at the 2026 National Police Day in Abuja. Our security correspondent, Kekalomo Okere, has details.
The rhythmic stomp of boots, the precision of silent drills, and the spectacle of ceremonial march past set the tone as the Nigeria marked the 2026 National Police Day, showcasing discipline, strength, and renewed commitment to national security. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who was represented by the Vice President Kashim Shettima, says his administration resolute in building a well-trained, well-equipped, and highly motivated force capable of tackling evolving security challenges, stressing that security is the bedrock of peace, development, and national progress. He urged officers to uphold discipline, integrity, and professionalism, noting that the uniform represents a covenant of service, not a license for abuse, and called on Nigerians to collaborate with security agencies, emphasizing that national safety is a shared responsibility.
There are professions that history rewards with applause, and there are professions that civilization survives by, even when their labor is too often repaired with silence. The burden of sacrifice the police shoulder is one we cannot afford to take for granted. For every nation is only safe as those who keep vision while others sleep. In a season such as this, when the shadows of insecurity tell the will of our nation, we must not only stand with our police, we must equip them, strengthen them, and honor them.
The Inspector General of Police, Olatunji Disu, set the tone for a decisive shift in policing across Nigeria. He paid tribute to the fallen officers, affirmed commitment to welfare, and made it clear that rank will not shield wrongdoings and uniform will never excuse abuse. IGP Disu outlined a force built on professionalism, accountability, and community partnership.
Every life lost in service is a debt in our conscience. Every fallen officer is a call to do better, to be better, to serve better. To their families, I say this: your sacrifice is not invisible. Your pain is not ignored. Under my leadership, your loved ones will not be remembered only on ceremonies, but in the standards we uphold every single day.
IGP Olatunji Rilwan Disu, PSC Daga, holder of the MPM. Please.
As the final salute fades and the thunder of the marching beat gives way to silence, the true strength of the force lies not in the drills, but in protecting lives and properties. For millions of Nigeria, the real test begins after the ceremony, where trust, accountability, and security must be felt every day. From Eagle Square in Abuja, Kipken Lomo Okeri, Global Television News.
Very much for that incisive reporting, Kekelomo Kerry. The Nigerian Air Force has reaffirmed its commitment to intensifying operations against terrorists and bandits, particularly in the north-central region, while also prioritizing personnel development as well as staff welfare. The assurance came during an Easter luncheon for air component personnel of the Joint Task Force Operation Wellstroke, held at the Nigerian Air Force Base in Makurdi, Benue State's capital. Our correspondent Felicity Indere has details for us.
At the flight line of the Nigerian Air Force Base in Makurdi, officers and troops of the air component of the Joint Task Force Operation Wellstroke gathered under ceremonial conditions for a special Easter luncheon organized in their honor by the Chief of the Air Staff, Air Marshal Sunday Calvin Anike. Representing the Chief of the Air Staff, Chief of Medical Services, Nigerian Air Force Headquarters, Air Vice Marshal Ikechukwu Ogbodu conveyed the Air Chief's commitment to both operational effectiveness and personnel welfare. He commended officers and airmen for their resilience, noting intensified intelligence-driven air operations to dismantle terrorist and criminal networks.
The recent successes recorded within the theater are a testament to your professionalism, courage, and effectiveness of our joint operational synergy. These gains reinforce our determination to dominate the battle space and deny terrorists the ability to regroup or launch attacks against our troops and innocent civilians.
Earlier, the Air Officer Commanding Tactical Air Command, Makurdi, Air Vice Marshal Michael Kwemi, expressed appreciation to the Chief of the Air Staff for the gesture and continued support for personnel welfare.
Accordingly, it firmly aligns with the Chief of Air Staff's command philosophy, which seeks to enhance and sustain a highly motivated, professional and mission-ready force, capable of delivering decisive air power effects in synergy with surface forces for the realization of national security objectives.
The Commander, Air Component of the Joint Task Force, Operation Wellstroke, emphasized the importance of synergy among security agencies in addressing insecurity.
We have been strengthened by your words of encouragement, and we assure you of our steadfast commitment to the duty assigned to us.
The Nigerian Air Force says it will continue to combine sustained military operations with personnel welfare initiatives to boost morale and enhance effectiveness in the ongoing fight against insecurity. In Makurdi, Felicity Indere, reporting for Global Television News.
Away from Felicity's report now, the military task force in Plateau State, codenamed Operation Enduring Peace, has neutralized 5 suspected terrorists and arrested a kidnapper in the state. The media information officer of the task force, Chinonso Ote, disclosed this in a statement, noting that the operation carried out in Wase local government area involved a series of intensive clearance operations targeting non-insurgent corridors. He said troops engaged in a fierce firefight with armed terrorists on the Babangida Adua Road, resulting in the killing of 2 suspects, while 3 others who tried to escape were also killed. Operatives of the Niger State Police Command have arrested 16 suspects accused of terrorizing residents in Minna, the state's capital. The spokesman of the Niger State Police Command, Wasiu Abiodun, made this known in a statement where he detailed that the suspects would be prosecuted after the investigation. The suspects were caught during a police house-to-house sting operation and were in possession of cutlasses, saw, sickle, and other weapons. Minister of Arts, Culture, Tourism and the Creative Economy, Hannatu Musawa, has described the unveiling of Nitori as a bold and strategic move to unlock the vast economic potential of Nigeria's tourism and creative industries. The minister made this known at a media parley in Abuja. Aniete Patrick has details.
The Minister of Arts, Culture, Tourism and the Creative Economy, Hannatu Musawa, says the platform aligns with the federal government's Renewed Hope agenda, leveraging digital innovation to strengthen national branding and cultural diplomacy. The platform is built as a one-stop digital hub where both tourists and residents can explore destinations, experiences, and cultural content in real time.
Today marks yet another significant step in our collective journey to reposition Nigeria as a leading global destination for tourism, culture, and creative excellence. President Bola Tinubu has a vision and a mission to really use the tourism in this expression of diversification that he's looking at for economic expansion, job creation, and all the things that will move us to the $1 trillion economy.
Director General of the Nigerian Tourism Development Authority, Ola Awakon, noted that Nitori represents a decisive shift from traditional tourism promotion to immersive digital storytelling. He explained that the platform will collaborate with filmmakers, content creators, and institutions to showcase Nigeria's diverse heritage across all 6 geopolitical zones.
This initiative would not have been possible without the strategic collaboration and creative excellence of our partners, Talkley Creatives Limited and JM Misa International Limited.
As Nigeria steps boldly into the digital tourism space, Nitori is not just a platform, it is a statement of intent, a signal that the nation is ready to tell its own story, on its own terms, to a global audience. Aniete Patrick, reporting for Global TV News.
The Health Promotion Division of the Federal Ministry of Health and Social Welfare, in partnership with the World Health Organization, has launched a landmark initiative designed to harmonize health promotion, enhance communication, and integrate service delivery across the country. The development follows a 4-day technical workshop aimed at developing a national health promotion and communication strategic framework. According to a report from the Health Promotion Department, the workshop brought together stakeholders from federal and state health ministries, development partners, media organizations, as well as implementing partners. Taraba State's Emergency Management Agency has intensified efforts to strengthen disaster response and management across the state through coordinated emergency interventions and strategic partnerships. Executive Secretary of the State Emergency Management Agency, Audu Echisa, has overseen multiple on-site assessments of fire incidents in Jalingo Metropolis, reinforcing the agency's rapid response to emergencies. Acting through senior officials, the agency's head directed assessment teams to affected communities where fire incidents reportedly caused by electrical faults destroyed residential buildings and displaced families. This is Global Television, and tonight you're watching the live broadcast of News Prime. The rest of the news continues after this break for weather forecasts plus business, foreign and sports stories for you on the other side. Please do not go away.
A very warm welcome. Up north, the atmosphere is expected to remain dry and dusty, with moderate dust particles reducing horizontal visibility. Travelers are advised to take caution as conditions could be hazy throughout the morning. Meanwhile, an active storm system over the eastern flank of the country and part of the central state, as seen on this imagery, is expected to move westward. By Wednesday morning, it is expected to impact states across the western region, including parts of Plateau, Kogi, Niger, some parts of Kwara, Rivers, Bayelsa, and the southwestern coast. Through the afternoon and into the evening, central cities will see a continued chance of thunderstorms accompanied by moderate rainfall. In the south, the skies will remain mostly cloudy conditions affecting many cities, with moderate to heavy rainfall affecting the cities, extending northwards towards parts of southern Bauchi, some parts of Adamawa, Gombe, Kaduna, and Taraba. So plan your day accordingly and stay weather aware. Thank you for watching.
We do appreciate you staying with us tonight. The second part of this broadcast returns with business. Africa will need more than 700 data centers to support its growing digital trade ambitions under the African Continental Free Trade Area. The Secretary General, Wamleke Mene, made this known while highlighting the scale of infrastructure required to drive the continent's digital economy. Africa currently operates about 220 data centers, according to the Africa Data Centers Association, just around 1% of global capacity. Experts also believe this gap is a major obstacle to expanding digital trade across the continent. He also noted that the adoption of the framework protocol on digital trade by African leaders marks a significant step toward building the legal and technical framework needed to boost intra-African e-commerce, increase private sector participation, and speed up cross-border transactions. The federal government has proposed 135.22 billion naira in the 2026 budget for what it described as electoral adjudication and post-election provision. The provision was contained in the House of Representatives order paper, which carried the reports on the 2026 appropriation bill. The allocation was captured under the service-wide votes, a centrally managed pool of funds used by the federal government to finance obligations not tied to a specific ministry, department, or agency. Let's go to Lagos State now, where the government says President Bola Tinubu will inaugurate a series of landmark infrastructure projects executed by the administration of Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu between April 8 and 9. Speaking at a media briefing in the state, Commissioner for Information and Strategy, Gbenga Omotosho, said the visit underscores Lagos State's ongoing investment in transportation, education, public sector infrastructure, and economic developments. Among the projects listed for inauguration are the Ojota-Okpebi Link Bridge, Lagos State Geographic Information Service Building, a multi-agency government complex in Alausa, the Tolu Schools complex in Ajegunle, and a mid-level agro-produce hub in Abijo along the Lekki-Ekpe Expressway. And now, beyond the shores of Nigeria, the country is facing a significant food waste crisis, with an estimated 38 million tons of food wasted annually, making it the highest in Africa. The European Union, along with the federal government and the United Nations Industrial Development Organization, has called for urgent action to end food waste as well as promote sustainable consumption and production. They noted that when food is wasted, the water, energy, and labor that went into producing it are also wasted, while accelerating climate change and undermining global efforts to build a zero-waste circular future. United States Vice President J.D. Vance has thrown his support behind Hungary's nationalist Prime Minister Viktor Orban ahead of this weekend's fiercely fought parliamentary elections, accusing Brussels of foreign election interference. Urban, European Union leader with the closest ties to the United States President Donald Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin, is facing an unprecedented challenge to his 16-year rule in Sunday's vote. Zeral Nasir completes the report.
Vance arrived in the Hungarian capital Budapest to deliver a message of support from Trump to his ally Orbán. While hailing the Hungarian leader as a model for Europe, he accused Brussels of interfering in the elections in order to hold down the people of Hungary. A statement from Vice President Vance's office says he is due to deliver a speech at a rally with Orbán later, focusing on the rich partnership between the United States and Hungary.
What has happened in the midst of this election campaign is one of the worst examples of foreign election interference that I've ever seen or ever even read about. I won't tell the people of Hungary how to vote. I would encourage the bureaucrats in Brussels to do the exact same thing. I'm here because of the moral cooperation between our two countries, because what the United States and Hungary together represent under Viktor's leadership and under President Trump's leadership is the defense of Western civilization. I think that it is a testament to the people of Hungary that you're a country of 10 million people, but I'm telling you, I've sat in all the rooms and I've been on all the phone calls. Your leadership has been a far, far more important and constructive partner for peace than almost anyone anywhere else in the world. And that is a great testament, I think, to the wisdom and the courage of the people of Hungary.
The 41-year-old conservative visit follows that of U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio in mid-February, who wished his Hungarian ally success in the April 12th election. Vance is one of the U.S. administration's fiercest critics of centrist and progressive European governments and one of the most fervent supporters of far-right parties in Europe. Zahra Nasir, reporting for Global TV News.
And great folks around. Let's turn to sports now for some excitement. The International Federation of Association of Football has officially confirmed goalkeeper Arthur Okonkwo's change of international allegiance from England to Nigeria, making the 24-year-old West Ham stopper eligible to represent the Super Eagles. The approval was documented on FIFA's Change of Association platform on April 6, 2026. Okonkwo's new national association listed as the Nigeria's Football Federation on the FIFA website, replacing his former allegiance, the Football Association Limited of England. Tonight, as we end News Prime here on Global Television, here's a look at some of our big stories for you. Nigeria's First Lady, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, has called for sustained investments in health systems and the adoption of science-driven solutions to improve global health outcomes. In business, Africa will need more than 700 data centers to support its growing digital trade ambitions under the African Continental Free Trade Area. On the foreign scene, U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance has thrown his support behind Hungary's nationalist Prime Minister Viktor Orbán ahead of this weekend's fiercely fought parliamentary elections. And finally, in sports tonight, we told you the International Federation of Association Football, FIFA, has officially confirmed goalkeeper Arthur Okonkwo's change of international allegiance from England to Nigeria. And that's all we have for you on News Prime tonight. Thank you so very much for watching. On behalf of my colleague who have made tonight's broadcast possible, and we at Mofwegbe appreciate you once again. Good night.